If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again and welcome to episode number 26 of the Inter Milan career mode here on FIFA 15. We start with an away game against Lazio, obviously coming into this one on the back of a shorter episode yesterday to try and balance out the fixture list before we have the live commentary of the Europa League final in tomorrow's episode. But Lazio sit 6th and we sit 4th, so this is by no means going to be an easy game, especially away from home. They've got the player that we're actually quite heavily interested in, Felipe Anderson, starting on their left wing. They've got Mauri, Cam and Lulic out wide on the right hand side, who's a player that we actually used last year at AC Milan. So we know all about him. Not really too sure about their striker, to be completely honest. Don't really know too much about Djordjevic, so we'll have to wait and see what he can do in this game. But we're starting a strong side. Obviously, unfortunately, we got a defeat in yesterday's episode, so we'll be trying to improve on that today. But Lazio start off on the front foot, as you can see down the left-hand side. Belia gets the ball into the box. Up goes Djordjevic, flicks it on to Mauri, and we don't necessarily start the way that I wanted to in this one. 4 minutes in, and we find ourselves with a 1-0 deficit. Really well worked. Flicked on at the near post to the free man in the box, but I was a bit disappointed with my defenders that he was able to be so free in the box in such a dangerous position. But Belia was heavily involved in this move as well, as you can see. Brilliant dribbling feet to get around me, and then Djordjevic plays it back to him. Decent first touch and a good finish, and after 19 minutes we're 2-0 down, and that really wasn't the way I wanted to start this game. I was annoyed enough with the fact that we'd gone 1-0 down, let alone 2, so I started to really go all out attack for this one to try and get myself back on level terms. Lovely first touch from Palacio and a top finish across the goalkeeper into the top right hand corner. 23 minutes in, that's 2-1, and we're in the 27th minute now, and we're still continuing to come forward, trying to get ourselves an equaliser if we possibly can. Freddie Guarin using Palacio again here. Nice first touch again with a fake shot into Mauro Icardi, turns inside, shows good strength to shrug off the two defenders, and then a decent finish as well. So 29 minutes in, and it's 2-2. There have been 4 goals in the opening half an hour. We're going straight from kickoff here. Lazio, after we equalised at 2-2, Senad Lulic takes his time to play the pass. We pick it off the man in the middle. Freddie Guarin isn't the fastest, but he's got the strength to shove off Belia. Beats Kanya to the ball, and that's 3-2 straight from kickoff. I couldn't believe the turnaround we'd had here. I was so shocked at going 2-0 down very early on, and then clearly as we scored 1 goal back, they were rocked by it, and I was even more shocked at the fact that we were able to get 3 goals in the next 10 minutes. So for some unknown reason to me, the game was ridiculously open in the first half an hour, and then after that both sides just kind of went, no, you know what, fuck being as open as that at the back, we're really going to solidify it, and both sides were just ridiculously defensive, and that was kind of the game. Nobody had any other real chances apart from the good save that Handanovic had drawn out of him there towards the end. So we do get a 3-2 victory from that one after an incredible opening half an hour or so. We get a 3-2 victory away from home against Lazio, so that will go very nicely towards our push for Champions League football. We have probably an even more difficult game than the previous one against Juventus this time. Obviously we're at San Siro, so we're at home, but Juve sit top of the league, level on points with our local rivals AC Milan. We do have a game in hand on everyone above us though, so we can with a win here go within 4 points of a Champions League spot with 3 games to go. But we are going to need to make sure that we get a victory here if we want to make sure that we stand a decent chance, or the best chance, of getting a Champions League spot. Again, starting a strong side, although Paulo Dybala is starting up top in this one instead of Mauro Icardi. It's always that extra little bit of pace rather than the kind of chunky Mauro Icardi, just to make sure we can kind of dribble it around their defenders, because as you can see they're playing Caceres, Chiellini and Bonucci, and I wanted the pace to get in behind in the flanks rather than Icardi's brute force to power through the middle. But it was actually Juve that had the first chance of the game here. As you can see, Carlos Tevez doing the work down the right hand side, linking up well with his teammate, stands the ball up, Matri gets the header in, but it does go wide of the post, and I was quite thankful that that was the case, because obviously after conceding 2 goals very early on in the previous game, didn't want to suffer the same fate here. But we're trying to catch them on the counter-attack here. Beautiful through ball for Rodrigo Palacio. Can't really turn back inside because I don't trust myself with Chiellini on the inside of me, who would have got the tackle in, so I had to take the shot early, and unfortunately it was a decent save by Gianluigi Buffon. But Matri is linking up with Paul Pogba here. Really nice ball into the box, but Gary Medel has the chance to bring it down and clear it, but unfortunately he decides to chest it. I was telling him to get rid of it, and you'll see from the replay, he chests it, and not only does he chest it, he chests it into the path of the onrushing striker. who then just shrugs him off, powers it into the back of the net, and we're 1-0 down. Not the way I had envisaged starting this game after the way we'd started the Lazio one. So I guess all we have to do now is just get ourselves back in it the same way we did before, didn't we? Although Juve were slightly, if not a lot better defensively than Lazio had been in the previous game. Marchisio getting a great block in there. Alessandro Macho, you see the way they've pulled my defence across. So there's space on the far side for Quadro Asamoah. Try and get in between man and goal with Alvarez Balanta there, but Quadro gets a decent shot off, and we're 2-0 down. I brought on Brozovic for Gary Medel in the second half to try and add a little bit of some fresh legs in the middle and a more attacking impetus. Dybala has a decent shot, but a wonderful save by Gianluigi Buffon keeps their clean sheet intact. But as we start to head further towards full time, we're now 20 minutes from time. We're having a decent bit of pressure in this particular stage of the game, pinning them in at the back. Cavani with a good ball in, Palacio with a decent header, and again Buffon there with a full stretch save to tip it over the top of the bar. 15 minutes left to go now. Nagatomo had just come on as well for Shaqiri on the left hand side. Palacio turns inside the defender really nicely there. Pirlo not standing a chance, and a gorgeous finish, really delightful finish from Rodrigo Palacio to finesse it into the far corner. That gave us a good chance to get back in it, but unfortunately, just as happened in the previous game, Juventus locked up shop, went part the bus, and I could not break them down to save my life. Those 5 defenders they had sat in front of the goal, the 3 centre-backs and the 2 centre-mids, just I could not break them down once again, and unfortunately we get a defeat there. So with 3 games left to go for us and 2 for Roma, we sit 8 points off the Champions League spot. So we need to win all 3, and we need Roma to drop points in all 3. So it doesn't look likely that we'll get a Champions League football for Season 2, but we will try our utmost in the final 3 games of the season to achieve that if we possibly can. And tomorrow we have the live cup final from the Europa League against the side that are right behind us in Serie A, Fiorentina. They sit just a point behind us in the league, but I'm confident of getting a win in that one, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But that will bring today's episode to a close. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past 2 days. There'll be a My Player episode later on tonight, and of course a Football Manager stream this evening as well over on Twitch, so check the links in the description to check that channel out, so you can follow over there, and of course follow me on Twitter as well. Links will be down below. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close. A rather disappointing end to the season, unfortunately, so far, at least domestically, but hopefully we can end with the flourish in European competition. But that will bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.